You are welcomed by the channel, Home Issues. And we begin. A cold atmosphere reigned. Paul felt that the love between them had disappeared somewhere. That warm feeling that once united them was gone. The soft kisses to each other had vanished. On Friday and Saturday, Kate went with her friends to the birthday party of another friend. She didn't inform her husband about the details of her outings. Adam got tired of it, although he tried to talk to his wife and stop her. But she didn't listen to him. After waiting for Kate to leave on Friday evening, he once again made sure that he had done everything he needed to do in the house and left. He returned home only on Monday. Kate, clearly furious about this, was waiting for him at home. "Where have you been?" "You weren't home. I already came to your workplace." "But you weren't there." "I had something to do." "And did you do it?" "Yes, I did it." He took the bank cards out of the suitcase and said, "This seems to be yours." Kate looked at him in confusion. Next, the car keys were placed on the table. Along with them came a bunch of various keys. Paul explained, "This is also yours. Car keys, house keys, office keys, mobile phone. I cleared the menu on it, and other minor things." "Paul, what's going on?" "I filed for divorce. I quit my job." "Divorce? What divorce?" Kate looked at Adam in shock. "What did you hear, Kate? There's nothing of yours I need to take from this house." "The suit I'm wearing, I bought it when I was still in university. The one we bought later is hanging in the closet. It will almost fit your friend Platon. Only it might be a bit long. Though no, for him, the scoundrel and the trickster, it will be just right." "Paul, why are you doing this?" Kate looked at him in bewilderment and continued, "I don't have any boyfriend." "That's what you'll tell your mom and dad. They're the ones who got him a job in your office." Paul turned and headed towards the exit of the house. Behind him echoed, "Paul, stop. Paul." Meanwhile, Bob was sitting in his office reviewing business papers. With him was Platon, who had brought these documents for signing. At that moment, Kate burst into the office. She exclaimed, "Tell me, what conspiracy have you plotted against my husband?" "Kate, what are you talking about? We haven't plotted anything." "Right, Platon. And he should just shut up. Though no, let him answer one question. When is his birthday?" "Well, we recently celebrated it. But HR says it will be in 3 months. Tell me, what university did you graduate from?" "I submitted everything to HR. HR sent a request regarding your red diploma, and the response was that such a diploma was never issued." "Can you explain this?" "I don't know. It must be some mistake. As far as I remember from the university lecture, this mistake could lead to a couple of years of imprisonment." "Dad, what is he doing here?" "He brought papers for signing." "And why didn't the head of his department sign them?" "He said he would do it later, but the papers are urgently needed." "Don't you have the department head's phone number?" "All right, tell him to get out of here." Platon quickly gathered his things, trying to take the signed documents, but Bob, having figured everything out, didn't let him. After Platon left, Kate continued, "Dad, either you bring Adam back to me, or I won't consider you my parents anymore. I've quit my job at your company. I'm informing you that Paul has filed a lawsuit for divorce. Daughter, I will stop all this. I'll go to his workplace and talk to him right now." "You don't need to go. I've already been there." Paul resigned. At that moment, Linda entered the office. In her presence, Bob dialed the number of a friend who was the head of the court and said, "Listen, my daughter's husband filed for divorce. Do you want us to expedite its consideration? I want it to disappear, no divorce. That's more complicated, although it hasn't been officially registered yet, but a lawyer he hired will intervene. Send me the lawyer's details." "All right," Linda asked joyfully. "Why recall it?" "Mom, if you don't bring Adam back to me, we are no longer family. Don't come to my house or call until the issues are resolved. And one of them, the main one, is where Paul went. It was you who convinced me that he married me purely for money. But he left me with only what he came with. And you forced this swindler Platon on me. Check the papers he brought." Meanwhile, Paul, having left the cottage, reached the station by bus. He didn't have many belongings. He only took the laptop he bought while studying at the university. Back then, he had just started making websites, and hadn't met Kate yet. He boarded the train, and 4 hours later, arrived at the regional center. He waited a little at the station, caught another train, and went further. He arrived at his hometown around 8 o'clock in the evening. During the time he was away, the town had undergone numerous changes. Paul looked at familiar places and didn't recognize them. He reached the house where his younger sister lived. She had married the neighbor's boy who lived in the house next door. Essentially, they had 2 houses standing side by side. He entered the yard and knocked. Ron, Jessica's husband, opened the door. He joyfully exclaimed, "Here I am, sitting, and there's no one to drink with. What about Jessica?" "She doesn't drink." Jessica appeared. Seeing her brother, she happily said, "Come in." "Why are you standing at the doorstep? Did Kate come too?" "No, Kate didn't come. And overall, everything is very complicated. Come into the kitchen." "I see you don't have any belongings." "Yeah, I kind of initiated a divorce." "And what happened?" "Nothing really. Kate suddenly changed, started going out with her girlfriends for girls' nights, coming back completely drunk. I checked. All those girls' nights happened in nightclubs, and they're mostly full of teenagers. Her parents pushed a suitor on her at work. I didn't fit in, so they decided to get rid of me." "Did you talk to her?" "I tried, but it was like talking to a wall." "Listen, Jessica, maybe you should first set the table. The man, I assume, has been traveling all day." "True. Why am I sitting here, and why are you looking?" "I'll get the bottle. For the meeting with Paul, it's worth it." Jessica quickly set the table. She called the children, fed them, and afterward, only the adults remained at the table. Jessica asked, "What do you plan to do next?" "Jess, what can I plan? Just live on. To do that, I need to work. Today I'm resting. Tomorrow I'll go look for a job. And something needs to be done about housing. Nothing needs to be done about housing. Look, our parents' house is standing empty. Nobody lives there." "Jess, that's your house. I'll stay there temporarily for now. When your kids grow up, it will come in handy for them." "When will that be?" "It will definitely happen someday. No one expected you to come back briefly from the university and get married to Ron. He just came back from the army. If I had left, he would have married another neighbor girl. She still looks at him sometimes." "Jess, are you serious? I don't look at anyone else. I fell in love with you right away. I even fought with a guy from the neighboring district." "No need for fairy tales. You guys organized that fight, district against district, because of your own squabbles. The police hauled everyone in for 6 months. They probably still haven't found everyone who fought." "Jess, I participated in that fight too. Paul, I know. You couldn't not go and support your friends. They didn't lock you up only because among those fighting for you were the sons of the prosecutor and the head of the FBI. And how's the town now? No fights? Everything's quiet. Groups can clash in cafes or restaurants, but that's always over women. And regarding work. Paul, I have problems at work. Something weird is happening with payments. I work with the bank, and during transactions, part of the amount disappears, though the amount I indicate reflects correctly. How is that possible? Simply put, you're being robbed. I contacted the bank, they checked, and said everything is fine on their end. Look for errors on your side. One of my specialties is information security specialist. Let's go to your workplace tomorrow, and I'll take a look. This isn't happening only at our company. As the chief accountant, I'm responsible for this. Jess, I'll figure it out. Jessica, really, the person is tired from the road. It's better to pour a drink. Well, you can pour yourself a drink." Meanwhile, on Friday evening, Kate sat alone in her cottage. She had absolutely nothing to do. She had money, but nothing to spend it on. Go to the club with her girlfriends? Enough of that. She'd been there. These same girlfriends whispered to her that Adam had a lot of mistresses at work, which was why he was always late. And what's the point of going to a nightclub? Dancing among teenagers? Getting drunk to oblivion? Of course, it was hard for her after Paul left her, and she couldn't even call him, since he left his phone with her when he left. This phone was a birthday gift from Kate to Adam. Now Kate was thinking about how to change everything. She knew one thing. Her parents couldn't be trusted. She realized that everything was done intentionally. But she didn't know where Paul had gone. She knew that he had a sister. They had seen each other only once, when she came to their wedding. Kate herself had never been to Paul's hometown. Besides, he could have gone to the region. People there knew him, and when he graduated from university, they offered him a job with an excellent salary, but he went with his wife. Meanwhile, in the morning, Paul and Jess went to her workplace. Before connecting to the company network, they visited the director, John. They talked to him, and he gave his permission. Paul worked for about 4 hours, then went to the director and reported, "My opinion is that your money is being stolen from you, but it's not happening in your network. There's a breach in the network, and through it, bad people are getting in." "Is it the internet?" "I think it's the banking network you work with. Jessica told me that this is happening at other companies too. I clarified with her where they are serviced. Turns out it's the same bank. And what do you propose?" "We need to go to the bank and check it out. But I know they have a serious security system, and as soon as we start looking, whoever is stealing will just crash it all. So what's the solution?" "Do you know the bank manager? He's my friend. They need a programmer. Get me a job. Say I'm the brother of your chief accountant, and you want to help me find work." The next day, Paul went to the bank manager and got a job as a programmer. Moreover, with recommendations received from the director of his sister. The background check by the security service took 1 working day, though Adam was warned that the verification process would continue. The bank has more stages of checks. Paul saw nothing wrong with them checking his information to avoid unnecessary worry. After 3 days of work, Paul found a cleverly hidden module inside the software that allowed money to be taken from any bank client. In the evening, he called John and asked for a meeting. After work, they met in the office. John, waiting for him, drank coffee with cookies and reviewed some papers. Paul entered his office, and he was offered a seat. "Sit down. Would you like tea or coffee?" "Pour it yourself. The secretary has already left." "I'll pour myself coffee." Paul made himself coffee, returned to the table, sat down, and began to explain. "John, it's not simple. I found a module that allows robbing you, the bank, and covering tracks. Right now, I have a small program running that will help identify which computer the attacks are coming from." "Paul, what's a module?" "A module is a sequence of logically connected fragments, formatted as a separate part of a program. In many languages, it's arranged as a separate file with source code, or a named continuous part of it, ensuring separate compilation of modules. And someone from the bank employees did it? Here's the problem. To do this, you need access to the source code of the program." "Source code? What's that?" "Source code is the part of the software that programmers work with to change the application's functionality or add new features. Any person with access to the source code of the program can improve or customize the application, adding functions or eliminating existing bugs. In this case, a theft function was added. And who could have done it? Whoever stole the source code. We need to talk to the developer, who they shared it with. And can it be stolen just like that? Hackers have already stolen the source codes of Windows XP and other operating systems, Microsoft Windows and MS-DOS. Microsoft Corporation hasn't commented on the situation, and what should I do?" "We need to meet with your friend, the bank manager, and discuss everything." "And can't we just delete this module?" "We can, but I don't have access to the source code. All I could do is set a trap." "Okay, we'll meet here tomorrow at the same time." The next day, by lunchtime, Paul already knew who was stealing money from the bank. In the evening, a meeting took place, and Paul explained to the managers that he needed to go to the region to meet and talk with the head of the company that developed the software, since the closed source code is their intellectual property. And here, the bank manager needs to involve the system administrator and the chief information security specialist with the help of the police. In the morning, Paul went to the regional center. He stayed there for 2 days. Meanwhile, Bob was sitting in his office with his wife. They were thinking about how to find their son-in-law now. His lawyer was silent. He really didn't know where Paul was. A considerable amount of time had passed since Kate broke off relations with her parents. Bob knew that Kate had broken off all ties with her friends, whom she forced to admit that it was indeed her parents who made them spread rumors about Adam's infidelity. The mobile phone rang. Bob answered. "Yes?" "Bob, it's me regarding your son-in-law. You asked to be informed if anything comes up. What do you have?" We received a request from the bank. He's applying for a programmer position there. I'll send you the address via SMS. Linda, present during the conversation, said to her husband after he finished the call. We need to tell Kate that we found him. Number. We won't tell Kate anything for now. I'll go and talk to him myself. Ultimately, it's our fault, and Kate will calm down and find someone else. When are you going? Tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, Paul returned from his business trip. The purpose of the trip had been achieved. He went into the parental house where he lived, left his things and went to his sister. She had already returned from work, and the whole family was sitting at the dinner table. He was also invited to the table. Paul told Jess, "Well, it seems the issue with your missing money is being resolved." "I know. More than that, they've already returned the money to our account. I don't understand how this became possible." "Very simple. They managed to steal the money, but they didn't find a way to withdraw it from the bank, so it was floating on a separate account of an unknown organization. So the bank's calculations were balanced. Then what's the point? Simply put, they didn't have time to write another module, and the money would have disappeared." John said that during the search, they found the entire client database of the bank. They prepared it for the future. They would have been fired after the money disappeared, and they would quietly skim clients, blaming unknown hackers. Time passed. One evening, when Paul was having dinner at his sister's, Jess looked out the window and said, "Paul, there's a car near the gate of the parental house, and some guy is walking around the yard. Are they guests for you?" "I don't know. I'll go check." Paul went out into the yard, followed by Jess. He walked through the garden and saw his father-in-law. He asked, "Bob? What are you doing here?" "Paul, I need to talk to you if you don't mind." "Come into the house. It's not locked." They entered the house. Jess returned home, said to Ron, "Some strange man came to Adam. Should I help throw him out?" "Stay home. I think he can handle it without us." Paul turned on the light and invited Bob into the room. They sat at the table. Paul asked, "Bob, any problems? And you, I see, have none. Not divorced from Kate yet and already flirting with the neighbor. Where did you get that idea? Who's the woman who came out following you from that house?" "Her name is Jess, and she's my biological sister. I came home late from work today, so I had dinner with her to avoid cooking myself." "Sorry. That's what I thought. And isn't she married?" "Why not?" "Her husband is Ron. He's also at home, and they have 2 children. I wanted to talk to you about Kate." "What's there to talk about her? I hope we'll get divorced soon." "I don't need a capricious and vulgar wife who doesn't care about her husband's opinion. She thinks she can manipulate me like a toy just because her parents have money. And it was you, her parents, who encouraged her on this path. And you waited for our divorce. I did what you wanted. What are you waiting for now?" "But you're not divorced yet, and Kate wants to talk to you." "But you disappeared." "Yes, we're not divorced yet. That's the only thing that connects us. And I talked to her after each of her escapades. I asked her to explain what was wrong. No reaction followed. I spoke with her on the day I left. You are welcomed by the channel Home Issues, and we continue. Moreover, I didn't disappear anywhere. I moved to my parents' house where we are now." "Paul, you can't imagine how upset she is about your departure." "Is she upset?" "She lost the right to be upset about me leaving the moment she started going out partying. And I don't know, but I suspect there were affairs too. The company she hung out with, and still does, encourages that. As does the boy Playton, whom you nurtured and for whose birthday she ran off. On the same day after you left, Kate quit her job and has been staying at home. I don't know what's going on with her. She forbade me and her mother from coming over or contacting her until we find you. She dropped all her friends. And I fired Playton. He's a fraud, he doesn't have an education, and the diploma he brought was fake. We found out. And now what? I'm asking you, come back to Kate. You didn't want this. You were dreaming that I split up with her. She loves you. If she loved me, she wouldn't have been running around nightclubs ignoring her husband. It's late now, and I have work tomorrow. Our hotel is under renovation. Out of old memories, I can offer you a room. I can also offer dinner. Bob stayed overnight at Adam's. In the morning, he had breakfast with him and drove back. On the way, he called his wife and told her about his meeting with Adam. At the end, he suggested, "I'll come, and we'll stop by Kate's to tell her about Adam. Hopefully, she'll accept us. I'll call you when I get close to town, and you take a taxi to Kate's cottage." "All right." In the evening, Kate was sitting in the kitchen having dinner when a car stopped near the gate. She looked out the window and saw her dad and mom walking into the yard. They rang the doorbell. Through the intercom, Kate said, "Yes, Kate, we know where Paul is. Moreover, I met with him." Kate opened the door, and her parents entered the cottage. They sat down in the kitchen, and Bob told her about his meeting with Adam and that he works at a bank. Kate said, "And there are cute unmarried girls working at the bank. He's already found a replacement for me." "No, Kate, I was at his place. He lives alone in his parents' house. Next door is his sister's house." Kate burst into tears and said through her sobs, "And she has single friends." "She has a husband and 2 children. Does he have a phone?" "He probably does, but I didn't ask for the number." "And why isn't he calling? You hurt him deeply, and we helped." "It's because of you and Mom that I believed I was doing everything right. We thought you were unhappy with him. I'm miserable without him." "All right, give me everything you've got. I'm going to my husband." "Kate, are you leaving now?" "In the morning." Kate left in her car. She simply couldn't sleep. She had all of Adam's coordinates, the house where he lived and the address of the bank where he worked. Paul, on the recommendation of the bank manager, became the head of the IT department. Significant changes occurred within the bank itself. After finishing work, Paul exited the bank building with the female tellers. He was happily chatting with them and enjoying their company. Overall, he held a successful and lucrative position, which he achieved entirely on his own. Unexpectedly, he noticed a familiar car with Kate standing next to it. Kate hesitantly approached him and greeted him. "Hi, Paul. Is something wrong? Can we talk? I think we've discussed everything. There's nothing to talk about. Please, let's just talk. If after this you want to leave, then go ahead. When I get home, I'll expedite our divorce and won't resist in court." The girls paused for a moment, but understood that Paul wouldn't join them today. Joking around, they continued on their way. Paul said, "All right. Let's talk, but not on the street. Come on, I know a cafe nearby. We'll talk there and grab dinner." "What about the car?" "Let it stay. It's not going anywhere. Just lock it." Some time later, they were sitting in a small cafe waiting for their order. Paul explained, "I don't feel like cooking at home. No time." Then Paul voiced the question, "What do you want, Kate? Why did you come? I want you to come back." "For what? To watch my wife run around nightclubs dressed like an easy woman? As far as I understand, in search of a new suitor. I thought it was fun. And now, is it fun?" Paul, "Yes, I went overboard. But I didn't do it for no reason. What did I do to make you hate me so much? My friends and acquaintances, all of them, said that you married me purely for money. Then why did I sign a prenuptial agreement? It stated that in case of divorce, I leave with what I came with. The contract was drawn up at the insistence of your father, and the grounds for divorce weren't specified. And what was I supposed to expect with your behavior? I know it was stupid, but at the time, I thought Dad was right. Besides, everyone assured me that you were cheating on me, that you had a bunch of mistresses, that you were slowly taking money out of our family. Did it occur to you to talk to me? You could have found out everything through your girlfriends before jumping to conclusions. You're an economist and controlled our family expenses. Was there any discrepancy in the balance? I didn't think about that, Paul. Let's try again. I'm really guilty and ready to do everything possible for us to be together again. And why are you so sure that I want that? Life is not as sweet as it used to be. But considering that your dad and mom aren't interfering in my life anymore, and no one is trying to deceive me, I'm living quite well. I have no debts. I returned everything you gave me, everything that appeared during our time together. Right now, I'm wearing a suit that my sister gave me since it became too small for her husband. But as you see, it's perfectly wearable. By the way, our order arrived. Paul and Kate started eating dinner. Additionally, Paul ordered some dishes to go. Paul and Kate finished dinner. Kate, after thinking everything over, said, "Forgive me, Paul. I understand that you had no options, but you didn't even want to talk to me. Well, you didn't want to talk, but I tried to do it. But you simply ignored it. And yes, I didn't apologize for my actions to you. I hope you didn't think I would thank you for such treatment. Paul, please don't be angry. It's really hard for me without you. It's hard for you? I don't know. But I'm not sure you didn't meet someone on your outings. From the first day you started going to nightclubs. And Clayton was nearby. No, there were no affairs. I haven't been with anyone since we met, up to today, except you. And I'm saying this seriously. On the very day you left, I couldn't believe it happened. Later, I pressured my friends, and they confessed that all the stories about you were told at the request of my parents. They were gathering dirt on you, but I cut ties with my parents on the day you left. And on the same day, I quit my job. So now I'm unemployed. Tell me, am I very guilty? Did my friends dig up a lot of dirt on you? No, they had nothing. When I found out you hadn't done anything wrong, I looked at the whole situation from another angle, and I realized what I had done to our marriage. I cried for several days. I tried to call you, but you left your phone. It was your gift, and I didn't take it. When I talked to Dad, I told him you filed. And he, through his connections, withdrew it. I don't know how they found you. Paul thought everything over and offered, "We won't decide anything today. The hotel in our city is being renovated. It's risky to travel at night. I can offer you a room in the house where I live. And we'll talk tomorrow, but in the evening. I work during the day." They left the cafe, got in the car, and drove to the house where Paul lived. At home, Paul showed Kate her room. He said, "While I'm gone tomorrow, have breakfast. You look terrible. What's wrong with my face? You lost weight. Go to bed. Sleep as long as you can. I'll leave early. Wake up, have breakfast. I also brought lunch from the cafe. I'll come in the evening, and we'll talk." In the morning, Paul went to work. Kate heard him leave but decided not to disturb him. After he left, she inspected the house and began tidying up. Paul, after the arrest of 2 bank employees and 1 software developer employee, gained recognition in the city. People started coming to him for consultations, sometimes booking appointments a week in advance. The bank manager didn't mind, only asking that Adam not be poached with high salary offers. Today, someone was supposed to come for a consultation. During lunch, Adam unexpectedly received a call from Jess, who inquired, "Paul, whose car is parked in your yard?" "It's my wife who came for negotiations. What does she want?" "She came to reconcile." "And before that, was it your father-in-law?" "You know, Jess, I can't understand this family. When I lived with Kate, I didn't suit them. They generally thought I married for money. And what did you decide?" "Nothing yet. There's a lot of work. And here's something else. A house on the other side of you is for sale. Do you know?" "I know. It's being sold for demolition, hence the low price." "And why do you need it?" "There's gas and water on the plot, and whatever decision I make, I still need to move forward. I know there are beautiful girls working at the bank. But you have a house. Jess, I gave that house to you. Your kids will grow up, they'll have their own families, where will they live? That's not soon. I'm not planning to move tomorrow, but when I build a house, don't belittle yourself, the bank will help. My director says he won't let you go anywhere for anything. All right, will you drop by tonight? It's Friday today." "With whom?" "With your wife. While you're not divorced, she's your wife." In the evening, Paul came home and was surprised. Kate had tidied up and prepared dinner. Looking at this, Paul said, "Thanks for the cleaning, but you shouldn't have cooked dinner. My sister invited us over. So I'll change now, and you put on boots and a raincoat, and let's go." "Why boots and a raincoat?" "It's raining outside, and we need to cross the garden to get to my sister's. You can't get through there in shoes or sneakers." Soon they entered the house where the sister lived. Jess said, "Here are slippers, come in, go to the kitchen, to the table. Ron is waiting anxiously for guests." "Where are the kids?" "They already ate and are watching TV in the living room. Their show is on." Ron poured everyone some vodka. They drank, chatted about nothing. After an hour, Paul and Kate gathered to go home. At home, Kate said, "Paul, let's talk about us. Let's go to the kitchen, sit down, and discuss everything." "I don't know, Kate. While we're married, absolutely nothing connects us. Let's calmly part ways. There are interesting girls around me who might like me. And you know, I'll be very uncomfortable saying that I'm still married." "And they meet with you here?" "No, I'm not seeing anyone." "You're lying to me." "I know you haven't been with anyone since you left. I fully understand that I destroyed everything between us. I'm asking you to forgive me for that. If you conclude that we're no longer a family, I'll file the papers in court for divorce myself, so that you're completely free and can date whomever you want. Only today I came to you to stay with you. I agree to live in your city. I'll find a job, so you'll leave your parents and move here. I'll live wherever my husband lives. Money doesn't solve everything. And I won't sleep in the guest room. You have a nice bedroom, and last night some mouse was running around in the corner. I couldn't sleep half the night thinking it might attack me." "Did it attack?" "Number. The mice here are peaceful. They know you, but they don't know me. And there's no shower here. I collected money, bought a water heater, and just need to install it. The shower cabin will be delivered tomorrow. You do have a gas boiler. I use it for heating. The water heater is for the shower. Only gas specialists are needed for the connection. They'll come on Monday." "And is it expensive?" "Not very. Our gas service owes me. I made them a program for their work. Their central office is near our bank. By the way, they need a specialist in your field, but I didn't take my employment record. It's at home. Call your parents or go yourself, and get some fresh air. You'll need your things. While you think everything over, I won't call you. I'll go myself." The next day, Kate woke up early, started the car, and drove home. She arrived home in the evening, entered the cottage. She called her parents back. Linda and Bob came to her in the morning, and they had a long conversation. Her parents tried to persuade their daughter to stay, arguing that her life was well established here. There's a great cottage. As for Adam, she can divorce him if he doesn't want to return. Kate initially tried to argue with them, but then unexpectedly agreed with her parents' arguments. A week passed. Paul worked as usual. In the evenings, he returned home. He didn't call Kate, as promised. Another week flew by, and Paul stopped waiting. But one day, returning home, he saw that someone was in the house. He thought it was Jess who dropped by. She knew where he kept the key. He entered the house. The light was on in the kitchen. He went into the kitchen and saw Kate. She was setting the table. Seeing Adam, she said, "Wash your hands and come to the table. We'll have dinner." "How long have you been here?" "Right after lunch." "I spent the night in the regional center and left in the morning." "And the car?" "I returned everything to my parents. The cottage, the car, and all their gifts to me." "They never gave you anything." "When I came back, they didn't take my decision to leave seriously and started pressuring me. I realized there would be obstacles. So I quietly packed my things. Mine and yours, which we bought with our money. What I could, I brought, and what I couldn't, I packed and sent via a freight carrier. They should arrive tomorrow." "And what about the parents?" "They don't know anything." I pretended to agree with them. But I asked them not to bother me for now and not to visit. I signed over the cottage to them at the notary. In short, I returned everything, put the car in the garage, and transferred it to my father. Now we'll earn our own way. The phone you left, I brought it back. I bought it with my own money and gave it to you as a gift. And I brought our wedding rings. We bought them ourselves. 2 days later, Kate's father called and asked, "Kate, where are you?" "I'm getting a job." "Where?" "Paul found me a place. The office is near mine." "And what does Paul have to do with it?" "Did he come?" "No, I came to him." "Yes, everything you gave me, the cottage, the car, I returned to you. The documents are in the drawer in the bedroom. You have the keys to the cottage. And what should we do with it?" "Do whatever you want. It's yours now. We're not inviting you as guests." In the end, Kate and Paul began living together, for now, in the parental house. But Paul bought a house slated for demolition, and the bank gave him a loan on favorable terms. A year after they started living together, Kate gave birth to a son. She didn't tell her parents about her pregnancy or how she was living. A year and a half later, Paul and Kate moved into their own cottage. When Kate's parents finally decided to visit their daughter, they were shocked. And that's where the story ends. Reflecting aloud, it seems to me that the story shows that money isn't the only source of happiness. It can provide material well-being but doesn't always bring satisfaction and joy. What do you think about this? Waiting for your comments.